here, and we're going to let him just share. I don't have any idea what he's going to share with us. Okay?
Thank you, sir. I'm Christian from the Philippines, together with my mom. Particularly south of Manila, it's called Binyan, Laguna.
Okay.
So again, thank you, Ballester Church, for the food, also for the warm welcome. So, in such time when you come to the Philippines, just go to our church.
Okay.
You're very, very welcome there. Binyan Church. So, I'll be sharing about my experience about the Sabbath work before. So, for the background, I studied elementary, high school, college in Adventist schools. So, meaning, Sabbath is not a problem. You will not be working on Saturday. Then, after college, graduating as an electronics engineer, I was applied at a job on a semiconductor company, also a manufacturing company which works, I think, 24/7. So, meaning Saturday, yes, is no exception. So, at first, I already talked to my boss. Sir, can I have a Sabbath off or weekends off? Then, my boss told me, "Oh, you should resign and apply for government. There's no work on Saturdays, weekends." But in the Philippines, even though graduate 4 years or bachelor, it's very difficult to apply for work. So, sad to say, I just keep going. Then, my mom always sometimes sees me going to work during Saturday, so it's very hard for her and also to me.
Your mom is here, right?
Yes.
Mom is here, yeah.
So I think that goes. I was hired 2018, then it continues till the pandemic. So me and my mom continue to pray that hopefully my Sabbath will be off. Then continues praying. Then pandemic came. So I think Singapore, you have face-to-face church or online? Online, yes. Same also in the Philippines. Then I have, we call this, there is restrictions. I mean, others cannot go to work or others cannot go to work actually. But if you have vehicle, I have vehicle, so I go to work even with restriction, passing to the checkpoints, to the police, carrying permits, then I could go to work. Then, when the restriction got more restricted, nobody can move, even private vehicle. So, I chose to stay inside the company. So, again, there's no Sabbath. You can worship, even though I think online could be. Then, why I'm telling you this is, the most important is after the pandemic, I negotiated, it was December 2020, at the end of that pandemic year, that my boss is keenly observing me, that even this, Mr. Castro is a Seventh-day Adventist requesting for his Sabbath to be off, considering that this would be a salary deduction, lower salary. He keeps observing. So, on the December and before before New Year, it's almost after Christmas, he talked to me. He said, "Christian, do you want still the Sabbath off? Because even though you will have lower salary, your leave will be deducted." Then out of nowhere, I think, how does my boss wants to negotiate with this? And of course, I said, "Yes, sir. If you will, okay." Because in the past few years, I've seen you, what you call that, your other colleagues they have no Sabbath requirements, but they just want to, what do you call it? They have excuses not to go to work, even though they are okay. Then unlike you, comparing you, even though sometimes you go to work even you are sick. So he just observing me, what do you call that? Comparing me to others, and also may add also that before that pandemic starts, I also talked to our pastor about this regarding matter. There's in the Philippines which calls the Bill of Rights for the religious liberty actually. Then he gave me a letter, and I handed it to my boss. At first, when he read it, oh, you go to HR. I don't know about this matter, so I actually go to the human resources and tell you that my boss wants if I could have my Sabbath off. Then the HR told me it depends upon your boss. So I go back to my boss. Then with the surprise with my boss, I neglected. HR told you that I will be the one to decide. So unfortunately, he didn't decide for that. So you will continue working. Then the pandemic comes. Then after the pandemic, that time he considers, okay, you may not take your Sabbath off, considering that it will be deducted on your leave. So if no more leave, you will continue to work. But as after I compute, it would be sufficient enough, and I have more for my leave. So again, every day we keep praying, me and my mom, so I could have my Sabbath off. Because during elementary, college, I didn't have experience, have problem during Saturdays. But when at the work, yes, they will ask why you want to take off during Sabbath. So they didn't understand. Especially at my work, may I also add that every move, I have my own pack lunch, saying that why you're not eating pork? No pork, no shrimps, no shells. It's very delicious. Then I said, sir, if I explain, what do you call it, biblically, they will ask, where in the Bible you could find that? So I said, sir, you could read on the book of Leviticus, Leviticus 5, and they find out that heels, I think shells, and all the crawling in the seas is not allowed to us. And they will say, oh, then you are not allowed to eat anything at all. I'm saying that, no sir, I can eat some, but technically or in our principle as Adventists, we are advised to eat more on the vegetables or more unhealthy. The challenge also, may I add, it would be on the everyday basis. Another day they will ask, oh, your food again, huh? Then the other day. And then sometimes I get used to it. So I think even though you are not telling others, but they are observing you. That's one thing in working in a secular company that's very, very hard. Like working inside our institution, I think they have the privilege not to be observed or something like that. So that is my experience in the past years and until now. So I am grateful that prayers and call that trusting that nothing is impossible. So I think that's all for my experience.
Okay. Any question?
Thank you for the questions.
Yeah, there is. Comment? Question? Eric?
Eric nearly go to Philippines.
Yeah, Eric almost go to Philippines.
Nearly.
Oh, okay.
In my early days.
You go to our church, sir?
Yeah. That means to say when I was about 18 years old, 18 after my national service, my uncle asked my father permission whether I can go to Philippines to study in the Institute of
Technical education.
no. It's ASIAN Institute of Management, AIM. Yeah, and I refused to go. Well, anyway, I love Philippines, and I want to say something. All my helpers come from Philippines.
Oh, that's good, sir.
Yeah, and I thank the Lord for coming to Singapore. It's represented by mother and son here. Thank you so much for coming to Singapore to help in most of our homes as a domestic steward.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. On behalf of perhaps some of us here,
Yes.
we want to appreciate you. Yeah. Thank you so much.
It is just a comment and a thanksgiving. The microphone just I have to walk away. Yeah.
I just want to say this is probably your opportunity to
Yes.
share and witness. I think we have some glow tracts about why we go to church on Saturdays, which I thought I can give it to you afterwards.
Yes.
And you can bring it home and share with your bosses.
Yes.
And keep praying for them because, like you said, they are observing us, and I think it's a privilege. But they must have seen something special about you. That's why in the end you've gotten your Sabbath off,
Yes.
Yeah,
it's
so
very
take
good.
it. Yeah, take it as an opportunity to be a witness for the Lord. You never know. Maybe when you get to heaven, you see your boss there. You just never know because of what you do. Yeah. So yeah, just take it as an opportunity.
Also, may I add, your suggestion is very good. They're really observing in someone. There's other boss and asking, what's the foundation of your belief about the Sabbath? Sometimes, how do I explain this? I just said it's in our church. It's by tradition, something like that. Because they are very brilliant people. If you argue with them, they will that's so technical. But out of curiosity, he just Googled it, and then he saw that your ability is on William Miller, October 20. Then your ability is under the Exodus 20%. Then you have isolated the Saturday as your Sabbath. But he is asking, how about the other side? I mean, do they have biblical foundation for that? Do they have scriptures like that? And then I tell, maybe sir, I could ask my pastor to come and explain to you because it's very, very deep. But for the foundation, I just said, sir, maybe it's in the Bible, it's somewhere. Remember the Sabbath day. So, but I think he will ask for more.
Tell him about Blue Zone. Yes. Blue Zone.
Yeah,
Blue Zone.
the Blue Zone. I already watched it. It's very good.
Yeah, it's very good.
Very
Blue
good.
Zone.
It's good.
Okay. I think it's very, yes?
I have a comment,
Okay.
but you're going to say it.
I see.
Because I came from Singapore, I've always been in Singapore. I came from the Sunday church, of course. Then, to me, Sabbath is any other day. Until, of course, I've been to this church for the last 5 years. So, for us in Singapore, we always 5-day week anyway. So it's like, okay, you don't know on Saturday, but we also don't know on Saturday. And then there's nothing special. But I see that for other countries, Saturday is sometimes a mandatory day to work. So it's very encouraging to see, very inspiring for me to see that you stand up to say, put your foot down and say, no work Saturday. You can deduct my leave, you can deduct my pay, but I will still rest on Saturday. I honor God, and therefore God also honors your faith in Him. I want to thank you for that. And then, my question for you is, where do you find all this energy to do that? I actually got another question, but for the later on, second question and third question.
You got my question. Next question. Okay, that's all by one.
Maybe, sir, for the energy where I do get that, I think, what is the foundation from, I think, when I was at little in the college? But mostly it's because they will look at you, if you answer based on tradition, how about the other tradition? Something like that. But sometimes I answered, if you're asking for where do I get the energy, I think it's the motivation because I held to this, what do you call that, belief. Then also at the same time, when I was in the Adventist University in the Philippines, the uniqueness of the Saturday versus the outside campuses, where is ordinarily being even on Saturday, unlike inside the campus of the AB, it's all quiet. It's all meditate, something like meditational, something like that. That's one I like in our belief. You set aside the Saturday, you set aside the work, you set aside all the stressful things. So that's what I like, or not like, but it's also in our belief. So we could, this is the one of the uniqueness of the Adventists. That's one motivation I have.
You come from AUP.
Yes.
I went there.
Yes. If you want to know, you need to be an AUP student to express Adventist culture, Adventist identity.
Oh.
Yeah,
I went there already, almost experienced.
Yeah, the experience of the original Adventist identity and culture. That is unique.
The foundation is the established theology.
Yes.
So when we were there, the first year theology student, the Bible teaching was very good on Sabbath day.
Yeah.
So we were very inspired. Yeah. We were there for about 2 weeks.
So when the Adventists go out to the marketplace, you are a light in a beacon because your day of worship, right? Then everyone is full, right? So then what happens is like you, in my workplace, they're all Sunday keepers, 500 of them, and I'm one Adventist. Yeah. Then they are all trying to, like you, I still go to work, I don't take MC. Even sick also still go to work. Right? The rest are trying to take MC as much as I know, sick also still take medical certificate, have to go. Then they wonder why you still work when you still can work. Because I said I'm not very sick until I need to lie now. You know? The bosses know. The bosses know, and then the bosses will ask me, "You're vegetarian?" I say, "Yeah, I'm vegetarian." Then twice a year, during all the festive period like Christmas, Chinese New Year, Deepavali, Hari Raya, then we have programs. Then they'll say, "Okay, you go and make your vegetarian dish for all of us."
Oh.
Yeah. So you see, you become a incidental witness just doing this. Because being an Adventist, they say, "Who are you? Where you come from? How come you never meet this kind of people before?" Right? So this is very exciting because you are inside and you got captive audience. They all ask you questions.
Yes.
And your boss like shake their head, have to tweak the thing to accommodate you, you know?
Yes.
And be a shining light. Okay, so this is practical Christianity in the marketplace. It's very exciting. Okay, you got second, third question? My question?
Sorry, I wanted to ask just now before you sat down. It was Samantha, is it? Yeah. Yeah, the program.
Oh, your sequence.
I sequence AY, yeah. Just like I do AY. So anyway, the question is this: you're taking care of baby from 6 months to 2 years old, 6 weeks to. So babies from 6 weeks to 2 years, the first thing they do is, or most of the time they do is, either they sleep or they cry. So what do you do to calm them down? What's your secret? Yeah, you got to have some secret or some special.
They become very calm, right? They don't bite anymore.
Yeah, correct.
You got third question?
Huh?
Third question, you have third question for who?
Most of the time, in our room, a lot of our babies don't cry that much, which I'm really thankful for. Like they cry when they need something, and usually once you change them or read them, then they're calm. For me, they like to be held. Like they really want their parents, and we're not their parents, but we're the closest thing we have to them. So just to be held, we brought them and sit with them, or even just like talk to them, most kids they'll calm down. Because another thing, our kids, they don't like their pacifiers, and so usually you give them the pacifier, they'll stop crying, but they don't want that. That'll make them cry harder. And so just try to be there and let them know like, hey, like I see you, like I'm here to help you, like you can be comfortable around me, because they've only been with their parents up until like recently, and they haven't even been alive that long. So they want their parents, is what it usually is. But just to be there for them, I think is the most important.
Human touch, right? Human touch and human contact and eye contact. So sad, right? It's really sad. My daughter said, you know, Mom, I need to marry a very rich man. In Singapore, you can't look after your children. It's not that she's not rich man, you just want to look after her children. That's very sad. Because I just want to look after my children. I can't afford to look after my children. So it's very sad. And you kind of know that your children is always looking for you as a parent. They're always looking for you. So it's very cruel now. Yeah. Okay, your third question. Okay, go 3, 2, 1.
Yes, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. 3, 2.
Okay, what's your question?
My question actually for Caroline is this. I think connect my thought first. Okay, you mentioned that the devil is very charming. Not only charming, I know this is very enticing, very seductive. Things always looks very attractive to you. Like you mentioned the still small voice of God. I also heard Satan's voice, this very sweet voice. He will say things that seems very natural for you to want to do. In fact, that's what you really want to do. But you know it's wrong to do. And yet, he will say in a way that it's correct for you to do those things. So, under those circumstances, when that happens, you mentioned that you go to prayer, right? I also want to mention also, that's how Jesus met Satan after his 40 days fast, right? And what did he do? He actually, Satan quote the Bible. And Jesus, in order to counter him, also go back to the Word of God. Because the Word of God is the only thing. Okay, my question is, in such a situation when you face that, right, it's a bit torn. Do you often sometimes find yourself difficulty struggling with that also?
So the dilemma, that's a dilemma, right?
2 and 4. Is it safe to answer that?
Yeah, I do find it challenging because, like for example, I'll just give like a little thing that happened to me today. Yesterday, I promised myself in my head, I said, I'm going to go to church. I'm going to find a church and I'm going to go. So today, I woke up, I'm dressed up, I'm ready, and I didn't even mention it because, you know, the devil watches it now. I just thought in my head and I left it there. And then I got on the bus, and the bus took me all the way down there. And I'm just standing there being, oh great, this is just great. Now I'm lost. This is just great. And then there was another, thought that came into my head, and it goes, you can't even find the church. Like, forget it. You're just here on a holiday. Go. Get on the bus and just go. Yeah. Go have fun. Go, go to the markets that you want to go to. And I'm standing there and, I saw a bus come and I'm like, yeah, I should go my own holiday. True. And I stood there, I'm like, girl, you know what? It's okay. Let me just walk and just, I can see that it's Ballister Road. Let me just walk and check. And I walked and I'm thinking, oh, I miss the church. And I literally walked past that. I called out to get a video and, tell everyone, hey guys, I'm in Singapore. And I'm right at the church. And I was like, oh shit. This is just, I didn't even notice that, there was no crossing, like to cross the road. I just ran to the church. I was like, no, not today, I found it. So yeah, it's like the little things, yeah. So we just have to, when we make promises, especially with, God, we have to keep it. It doesn't matter like how you go about it, as long as you fulfill your end of the bargain.
Yeah. So you got your answer?
Yeah.
It's very subtle. But you know, you have no more? I was just going to encourage also. Same thing last year I was teaching in preschool too. And initially I told the center leader saying that I keep my Sabbaths from Friday sunset to Saturday sunset. They said, okay. Yeah, but later on in the year, she changed her mind and she said, so you have to, deduct your leave, and all that. So it does happen. Yeah, but I think when we honor the Sabbath, He will always bless. Yeah. And so when I quit my job also because my voice, my vocal cord issue. Yeah, and then Pastor came and said, would you like to help work in the church? And so I got my job too. So the Lord always blesses. Yeah. And with regards to the food, so I bring my own food because the cook said, I don't know how to cook vegetarian. So I bring my own food every day. And you know what? Even the cook will come and look at my food and say, wow, so healthy. So I don't think you have high blood pressure, cholesterol, and diabetes. I said, no, I don't have that issue. And she has, so I try to educate her instead, you see, how we can help them, the outside world. So it's never a coincidence. I take it as an opportunity wherever I am to be that witness for God. And even my children, my school students, they are like 5-year-olds, they would love to come and see. Every time I open my food, they will rush over and say, oh, I like to eat this, I eat this at home. So that's where I also have another opportunity to teach my children what is healthy eating. So I'm just so happy that even in that short half a year, I was able to share and make a difference. So make a difference. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing, Samantha. Hold on,
Similar to Anthony's. So actually the question, there's a struggle.
Yes.
Yeah. So what kept you firm, even with the struggle? We heard from the two and why is the Sabbath important to you? That you were willing to get your leave and make all those adjustments.
Yeah. Sometimes
So hard, my question. So simple but so hard.
Again, what do you call that? Even though it is in our belief, I think the Sabbath meant for me as a rest. So what do you call that? More than motivation in our belief. Yeah, it's a prayer. Then she's asking how do I on a daily basis, you call that? It's something like if they see you going to for example, they pressure me that, oh, you work on Saturdays, just one day. And I said, no, because it's my Sabbath, it's my holiday. So I rest on Sabbath, even though in our churches sometimes we're busy for the food, the technicalities. But again, the Lord always watches us, something like that. Then, as a good stewardship, someday that He will ask you, what have you done to defend or to follow the Sabbath, something like that. But if you cannot answer because I just go with it, or because my company says so, it's hard. It would be recorded. Again, for me, it's more sometimes it's been my practice, and also my mom trained me as when it's Saturday, no more TV, no more business, just church. And as part of growing up, it's always been Saturdays and it's a holiday.
This is my guess. Number one is conviction.
Yes.
Right? Belief. Number two is habit. Very, very good habit at home while growing up. Number three, your own, kind of going to go against your own conscience.
Yes.
Right? Your own conscience. Number four, think it's very sad to see your mother so sad.
Yes.
Right? Mommy, come. No, serious, come. Yeah. She's a homemaker. Sometimes your children do it because mom is also sad. Can you share with us how, when you see him struggle like that, how you feel and what do you do? No, because all of us have that struggle together. You.
I can speak
Yes.
English.
She can translate. You do Tagalog, then he translate. Can I?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
You see
Tagalogin.
Tagalog, then he translate. It's very important.
Whenever before I was going to work, even though it's Saturday, receiving wearing a uniform, he instead of wearing a Sabbath dress. Before, when I worked in way back 1918,
Yeah.
they were asking that what is your feeling or your
Yeah,
reaction?
it's very difficult for me being a mother. I'm going to church, my son going to work. It's very hard for me. So in a church, I'm going to pray, and then if I end up at home, I pray in the evening, in 12 p.m. midnight. I'm going to me and pray. So the Lord is very good to us, very good for me, because He answered my prayer. I always pray. It is my work always as a mother. I'm very difficult to see my son going to work, and then I'm going to church. Sometimes I cry. No, it's natural because of a mother. I'm very hard to pray to God, so that God is very good to us. It's
No need for translation.
Sorry?
No need for translation.
No need for translation.
Not important, no need to translate. Yeah, because you need to see the rawness of a broken heart. And many times we stop ourselves from doing things because someone else got hurt. You know, and a mom's tears, a mom's broken heart, where you bring me up and tell me this is the right thing to do, and then you see your mom suffering also, and you are suffering while going to work on Sunday. You need to see this kind of transaction, emotional transaction. It's not just all in the head, it's real. And that's why I asked her, come. Yeah, because you can only hear but you never see the pain, the struggle, the suffering for standing up to truth, you know. Yeah, and this is going to happen more and more as Jesus comes nearer. Yeah. How old are you?
I'm not sure, 31.
31. So how long you suffer this? Pre-pandemic, right?
At least
5 years, 4 years,
5 years?
no, at least
3 years.
after pandemic,
Better.
no more Sabbath. So
Yeah.
at least 2 years.
2 years.
2 years. Yeah.
Also, in addition, it's very difficult. Meaning, you have to keep your work, so you will have a living.
Yeah.
If you don't have living,
No job, no
No
income.
job, eh?
No job, no Singapore.
Then someone comes here kena fire by all of us. Right? Why you do this? Why you do this? Why you do this? Right? So it is not easy. That 2 years trying to stand up. And then you tell people you keep the Sabbath, you cannot go stand. Right? You cannot say, okay, now I don't keep. You cannot. You already made a promise and to God, and then you already tell your boss, I'm a Sabbath keeper. You cannot change your, because you betray yourself then. I don't know how also. So it's not easy.
The struggle is real.
This struggle is very real. So although your mom just said a few words, but actually behind there's a lot of tears.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. No?
It's very difficult.
Because on Saturday, she will go to church without me. Then the other church member will be
Ask, where's your son?
Yes, that's
See, that's another thing. Where's your son? Then she also.
sometimes, I don't or sometimes change the topic.
My daughter also get it. Where's your mother? My daughter, mommy. I said, okay, I understand. It's not easy. You don't see the behind the scene, standing up for truth, the price you have to pay. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Okay, I invite anybody last words. Thank you so much. Any last words?